For a really long time, I've had this theory, and unfortunately, it just keeps confirming itself the more time I spend on the internet, which is that we have completely forgotten how to watch movies for fun. Like, it feels like for a lot of people out there, it is completely impossible at this point. Every time a movie or a show comes out, or just the trailer for one comes out, all you see is a bunch of man-child pseudo-critics going off about all of the technicals. They start with the bullshit analysis before they've even seen the thing. Oh, this is gonna be an absolute masterpiece. It's by this director, it's got this cinematographer, and oh my god, have you seen the lighting? Did you catch that one thing or did you miss that one thing? It's got this crew member on it, that crew member's on it, it's got this actor and that actor, and it is so weird to me because I was under the impression that watching movies was supposed to be fun. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but analyzing every aspect of a movie or its trailer after you've seen it seems so unfun. That is miserable. Like, maybe you can do all of that after you've seen it a few times, but after the first watch, really? And it's so annoying to try and understand what people actually felt about a movie nowadays, because you ask them, and instead of going, yeah, I liked it, it was fun, I enjoyed it, or no, it didn't really do it for me, I didn't find it that fun, you get the full breakdown, the pseudo-intellectual rundown BS. And like, don't get me wrong, I get that there is room for all of that stuff that digs deeper into how a movie is made for the people who care about that. I am not saying that that shouldn't exist, but I also don't think that it should automatically invalidate opinions that focus on how a movie made you feel on a very basic level. You know that saying ignorance is bliss? Yeah, I think that should be true about movies as well, because at the end of the day, movies are an art form just like music, just like paintings or whatever. They are supposed to make you feel something. And some of those feelings are really just simple. They are fun, enjoyment, maybe you hated it, and that is allowed to be enough. And I don't get why so many people out there go out of their way, go so far out of their way to suck the joy out of watching movies by overcomplicating it. And it's just like, imagine going to a gallery and looking at a painting that you really like, but instead of saying that you like it or explaining why you like it, you start telling somebody about the brush that was used to make it, or about the woods that the frame is made out of. Or better yet, imagine you go to a concert, right? And you start telling somebody in the audience how the band on stage is not as good as the band that you like because the lead guitarist is using a guitar that you think is bad. You would get your teeth kicked out by somebody in the crowd for doing that. And like, a perfect example of this happening right now is the discourse between people who are excited about Avengers Doomsday and the people who just saw Nolan's The Odyssey. I just saw The Odyssey and it was an absolute masterpiece. He used so many practical effects, it looked incredible, and that's why Doomsday is gonna look like shit. It's filled with CGI. No shit, it's filled with CGI. It is a comic book movie. Like, what do you want them to do? Do you want them to, like, go and pull Thor out of Norse mythology and hand him a hammer and be like, yo, you need to go and fight the magic guy in the metal mask, but you need to do it practically? That's not happening. It can't happen. What do you mean it can't happen? Can't they just hand Chris Hemsworth a Tesla coil so he can summon real lightning? No, fucking ridiculous. No, you can't. It's a comic book movie. Of course it's gonna have CGI. And then it's stuff like, well, look at this ensemble shot of a bunch of characters from different movies that all look very different from each other, standing together. The costumes don't match. The colors and the contrast are all over the place. It doesn't work visually. It's not going to work. Have you ever held a comic book in your hands? Like, be honest, have you ever physically had a comic book in between your little greasy sausage fingers? Have you ever read one? Because if you had, you would know that superheroes have always had messy, bright-colored costumes, and they stand next to each other, and nobody cares. It makes sense. That is the point. The point isn't for them to match, the point is how it makes you feel. How does it make you feel to see those characters that you have been excited about for years, maybe since you were a kid, finally standing in the same room talking to each other? Does it excite you? Is it fun? Or are you just too busy thinking about what lens this was shot on? I wonder if this was a T2 or a T4. I wonder if the wardrobe and the set design department had something tasty for lunch that day. If that is the first thing that you're thinking about when watching a movie, I am sorry, but you're miserable. And I'm not trying to say that you should ignore the technical side completely, right? There's obviously a place for understanding how movies get made and being excited about that too. But it shouldn't come at the cost of just being able to enjoy the thing on a surface level. One of my all-time favorite franchises is Transformers, and I am not ashamed to say that, even though by most accounts it is a pretty dogshit franchise. But the point is spectacle. Huge explosions, giant robots punching the shit out of each other, that is it. That is the concept. The story is whatever. Nobody watches it for the story, or at least not most of the movies, but you watch it for the spectacle and you have fun because it is fun. That is allowed to be enough. I don't know exactly when this started, but I do have a theory. I think that it started because a bunch of people started expanding the filmmaking space on YouTube with a wave of video essays about people's favorite movies, about the cinematography and the psychology, which are all things that are fine on their own, but a lot of those people also very quickly started trying to position themselves as the clearly smarter than you intellectual who can explain every facet of a film and give you little niche details to make you feel dumb for not catching it yourself or for having a much simpler reason to like the thing that you like. And I think that's why a lot of people are scared to just say something like, you know what, I enjoyed this, it was fun. Because if they say that and they just leave it at that without backing it up with some technical breakdowns or some profound insight, they're scared of getting judged by those pseudo movie critics, and that's a real problem because it makes people pretend to be smarter than they are instead of just enjoying the thing that they watch, which keeps feeding this cycle that started it in the first place, and I hate it because it is exhausting. So if you're someone who's excited about getting into conversations that go a little bit deeper into the technical aspects of a movie or the psychology or little Easter eggs or whatever, that is totally fine. You can do that and you can enjoy it, but please stop acting like your opinion is the default correct opinion and everyone else is wrong for having a different taste and just genuinely liking something that you don't like because it makes you seem like a huge jackass. Unless it's generative AI, in which case always bully people who think the generative AI is cool. I just want to get that out there. But other than that, maybe start letting yourself be a dumb NPC every now and then and let your first viewing of a movie or a show just be for the sake of how it makes you feel on a very basic level. Was it fun? Was it not fun? And then if somebody asks you, you can go into why you think what you think. Don't just automatically stunlock me with the BuzzFeed article of 12 reasons why this movie is the absolute best movie and no other movie is ever gonna come close to it, because that is annoying. It makes you insufferable. But yeah, that's all I got. It just pisses me off, man. I could keep talking about this, but I'm gonna save you the trouble, so I'll just see you in the next one.